And you're going to look for hope therapy. Please watch the video, read the instructions, so you understand that the code that I give you is literally L3D. L is in left wrist, and 3 is the third position on that pulse point, and D is when you push your thumb in deep, okay? And then you do the rest of that where you place your hand in your forehead and stuff like this. But what you're going to do is that once you get the position down, all you have to do is think about how people are whiny and bitter from everybody in your life, from your kids, from your ex, from everybody that's ever been that. And you're like, oh my God. And you put it on a scale from 0 to 10 and give it a color. The importance to understand is that this is how you know it. This is how your attraction factor, this is how the law of attraction keeps given to you, is because of this. And if you start to heal this big chunk down to 0, and then if another person pops up in your face that's whiny, go back to that L3D and put it on another test scale and get it, bring the number down to 0 and 10. Now, you're not going to talk yourself and go, oh, positive thinking. No, none of that. That's called the high side, and you're avoiding the healing. But be in your house. Think of how you know these things. Whine, bitch, moan, but allow yourself to stop resisting this pain, and instead of swallowing it, you then can just look at it, stare it down, talk to it, whatever it is, but hold this position with hope therapy. The brain, the self-talk, will actually start to quiet down. The emotions, you'll stop making the chemical peptides. Your brain will stop making the reality that way, okay?
All right.
All right, so keep healing.
Oh, wow.
If you
it was just a beautiful experience.
Thank you.
My friend, all the time, she's like, go Blog Talk Radio. You need a lot of guidance, and I hardly do it, but every time the few times that I did it, I get a lot of peace, in terms of guidance.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you called. Now, if you aren't able to do it by yourself, then again, I'm a soul coach, and you'll find all that information on the website if you need to call and make an appointment, okay? But happy healing. I'm sending energy, light, and love because I know you can do this, okay?
Oh, thank you so much.
All right.
God
bless you. All right, namaste. Okay, so we're going to take the next caller in a minute. Caller 661, you will be next when I get back from this message. But wait, before you hit the button, anybody in the chat room, if you want a reading or have a question or any of that stuff, please go ahead and just type it into the chat room or call in. That would be great. And our call-in number is 914-338-1346. Who's the next area code?
Area code 661.
You're on the air with Brenda and Scott.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. My name is Brandy.
Hi, how can we help you?
Yeah, things have been pretty stagnant, and I'm just curious what you saw coming my way and been interesting.
Okay, so what did you say?
Your voice is kind of muffled there a little bit.
In the love department?
Yeah, and I was just curious if you saw anything coming my way.
Ah, okay, good. There we go.
Okay.
Some reason it didn't come through.
The call was kind of...
All right.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to have you do now, do you see anybody in the horizon? Have you been staring at people that you thought were cute? Have you got somebody in mind, or is it just a clear blank slate?
Yeah, I have someone in mind, but I'm not seeing anyone right now.
Okay, because when I asked that question that you want to know if anybody's coming in your love life, the thing is that I actually saw your thought go to a particular face, and so that's why I want to make sure if we're not going to include that person, I want a free energy. So I want you to just look out and say, yeah, so you don't have a love life right now. So is somebody going to be coming along in her space? Ah, yes, and they're going to help you express your love. So, do you know how to make romantic gestures?
Yes.
Okay, and so there's a part of you that's inside going, oh, I want to do that. I want to be able to express the romantic gestures, and that is going to be able to come up. And now I've got to ask, will it be in a nice relationship, one-on-one? Okay, yes. Now, all the variables above your head, these are thoughts and questions and things that change continuously. If I were to put a time on it, this is the hard part, because there is no expiration date on these particular things because your thoughts can change it. One day you could say, I want love, and that could say, yeah, but give it 3 weeks. You may find somebody that could twinkle of your eye and you could actually learn to be romantic with. But then again, if you have the issues that come up that will actually stop you from, like, receiving, which means you'll stop 5 minutes before the miracle, then it could take up to 6 months to allow someone to come in your space. So I want to find out what's the issue that's going to pop up that's going to interfere with you having a love life. And this is the self-esteem that you have about yourself. I don't really feel like it's about the looks as much as about your ability to be strong in who you are, and the self-esteem in... does this make sense so far?
Yeah, it does.
Alright, I gotta find out more about what they're talking about as far as that self-esteem goes. I have a feeling it's like the ability to have movement. I gotta find out what that means. It says, in the Clet Baron Reed, the Enchanted Map, number 28, movement, says you are in the time of positive forward motion. Okay, now how does that interfere with you having a love life? It says, I'll read this though. It says, a time for positive moment as you come out of a period of restriction. You're in a stage of new adventure and discovery. You may feel compelled to take a trip, change your hair, or move your home or business. Regardless, you can't remain where you are anymore. You feel compelled to go forward. No matter what your inquiry, you will see your dreams take form and doors previously shut begin to open as if by magic. Movement is a state of mind. The fog lifts and now you know the actions you need to take. This isn't the time for fear. Let go and move forward. So now I've got to look for the fear. So there is a strong part of your body. Okay, good. Okay, so now let's look at the next one. What is the next one? Making a choice.
Yeah, that was one dead on, actually.
Here's a question for you. Do you have a problem with making a choice?
No, I just haven't had any choices, honestly. Things have been very stagnant.
Okay, according to this, you're going to have choices that are going to be popping up. So it looks like you're at the end of one journey and beginning another awesome quest. This one looks more happier. Now I've got to figure out what this pattern is, because they said there was an issue. Now I'm not using the way I normally do it. It's because I'm using cards. So is there an issue? Does she aware of it? No. She's very so you're a very optimistic person?
Yeah, but there is an issue that popped up that I know I need to work on worthiness.
Okay, worthiness, and that has to do with the self-esteem. Yes. Okay, so again, I'm looking at all these things and I'm watching all of this unfold in an awesome way, but so I'm going back to self-esteem. It's not something that's outward as much as the self-esteem. So now I'm going to look. What part of self-esteem does she need to heal? How she want to okay, so it's going back to here. Do other people live through you, or do you live through others? I can't see the mirror, I just can see the words.
I probably more living through others.
Okay, that's the direction they're talking about. Okay, so I would have you do hope therapy, and your code would be R2D, because you're going to be working on the spleen. You have the low self-esteem, then you live through others, and it's a pattern that you learned as a child, about 4 years old, to keep yourself safe. So you have the 4-year-old trying to run your life, and then you have the age you are now that's running your life. So you're having conflict within who you are, and the older part of you, it's ready for movement, it can have choices, it can do this, it's all great, but the 4-year-old keeps popping up, and it's part of the strategy of surviving the pain and the anguish. So you with me so far?
Yes.
So, have you ever felt, and you know you have because you said it, that familiarity of low self-esteem, living through others, and just, so take a look at how, if you were to have the self-esteem and just do it, would you feel attacked? Or have you done it and then you felt attacked, or been attacked?
Oh, yeah, I've had that happen in the past.
Okay. Good. Now look at that. Look at on a scale from 0 to 10. Look at how you know this, and really allow yourself to focus, because when you go to heal and you focus on it, the number's going to shoot up, and that's what you want. So you already know what you need to think about. Remember to put it on a scale from 0 to 10, but use a healing tool. Just don't think about it, because then it's just going to make you create the same reality over. We're here to help you create closure. You can stop creating that reality over and over. Okay?
Okay.
So you need to use a healing tool. I mean, there's a part of you that already knows your life the way it's been. It knows how the things in the past, how it's familiar. And like I said, the 4-year-old is going, oh my God. The older part of you is like, stop it. I want to move forward already. So literally, I'm telling you, you have a great healing tool. So do you know where to go, or do I need to give you directions?
A little direction.
Okay, so when you go to mwreveal.com, you're going to go to the left-hand side, Healing Tools, look for Hope Therapy. Your code to be able to do the Hope Therapy is R2D. Literally, you're just going to be able to think all of the crap that we just talked about, but you're going to use a tool to help you resolve that crap. So you're going to grab your right wrist in the second position, and you're going to put your thumb in that second position on the pulse point. You're going to push in deep. And your first finger is going to go in the palm, and then your hand's going to go on your forehead and your hairline. So that healing tool, all you need to do is be able to put yourself in that position, and then really get into the hells of how you know all the stuff we just talked about. Put it on a big fat scale and say, scale from 0 to 10. 10 being, oh my God, yes, this is my story. Give it a color. Whatever color pops in mind, that's what you addressed it, so it's correct color. And then you focus on all that stuff. Now remember, the adult you is going to try to counteract that 4-year-old, so you may start thinking positive. Stop it. Think negative. This is where you actually get to think your hells, because you're going to help your brain create closure to that particular thing you no longer need to run your life. And you know that you have felt the low self-esteem, so then you're going to actually focus on that. And then you get to focus on how, oh, I can only live through others. I can't do it. And what's going to happen is literally all of that. The self-talk will stop, slow down, actually quit. The color will change. You want it to be 0 and you want it to be white. So when you feel like, okay, I don't feel this anymore, and then you go out the door and all of a sudden you feel low self-esteem, quickly grab R2D and do it again. Put that fresh experience on a scale from 0 to 10 and heal it down. And you will then start training your brain to create a better attraction factor. Bring better into your life. And your 4-year-old, and I would do a healing tool for that, but it's hard to do that one. I would have to do it probably as a meditation. But you go in and you can look at your 4-year-old and you can ask her about this, and she'll say, oh my gosh, yes. And she may have her sit on your lap, she may feel upset, but as you're healing, you kind of imagine that she's doing the same thing. Your little self is doing the same thing, putting your hand on her forehead, and let her talk sometimes. Okay? And what's going to happen is when she's done, she ain't going to want to play. Or she's not going to want to play with you. She'll, I want to go do this. She will look like she's finished and she finally gets to grow up and gets past this. Because she's got the confidence now just to go over and do what she wants. So you're going to keep healing and use your imagination with your 4-year-old, and you should be able to move mountains. Okay? If you can't, you just go to mwreveal.com, look under contact, and make an appointment. Everything, all the information's there.
I'm really close to feeling it, actually. In the last couple of days, I've been feeling that way.
Good. Get the confidence, get the healing, get her done. Because I know that you can do this. All right?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you, dear. And stay blessed.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay, so we're doing really good. And everybody in the other ones hung up. That's okay.
Now. Oh, somebody was asking about Octarine. Did you get her testimony?
No, I have not, Octarine, so I'll have to look. And hopefully, if not, I'll let you know that I haven't or whatever.
And then was asking about Kimberly wants to know when
as soon as possible, because
when's the deadline?
With the telesummit, what's interesting about the telesummit is that whenever I can get it in, then she'll be able to start promoting me right away. I don't go in until December 7th. But I also have another lady that wants me to do the telesummit, and she's asking for the same stuff. And I'm going to do that in November. She just hasn't given me a date. And once I have... Oh, she filled it out Monday? I did not get it.
Oh, is that through the website?
Okay, Karen, did you fill out it through the website? Did you send it personally?
Yes, through the website, okay.
All right, I'll have to look again. I know how to find another way to go check it, so I'll check. Thank you very much.
Maybe you got other ones there too that you haven't seen.
I'm going to have to go look.
Yes.
So what's going to happen is I have 2 telesummits, and the one lady, she says she wants me back again, so I haven't even done the first one yet, so that's awesome. And I'm all excited because I'm getting ready to start writing about holistic health in a magazine for somebody. You know, one of these days these hobbies are going to pay off and I'll actually make money. But right now, I'm getting to live my dream and I get to move forward in the direction I need to. So, with your help, that would be great. So as soon as possible you can, that would be wonderful. On the MW Reveal, the survey and testimony, those are just tips. If you feel like you don't want to use any of those tips, you don't have to. You can write one, whatever you need to do. Don't make it too fluffy because people don't like fluff. They want to know, did you get results? Did you get your money's worth? Did you get more than what you expected? And it's so important to understand that people want to know. It's like when you want to buy a product, you want to know if it's going to work. Because if not, why you spend your money on it? And what makes me uniquely different? Again, there's a lot of times I call myself a psychic, but I'm a coach. I'm a soul reader. You know, it sounds creepy to some people, but hey, your energy is hanging all over the place, and I'm going to trip over it one way or the other, and so may as well read it. Anyway, if you can do that, that would be great. And Octarine, since you already filled one out, I am going to give you a reading, my dear. Now, I know that you've been healing, but I also know that you have a nasty cough. And you have that similar to someone else in the room. So we're going to look at...
Not me.
You know, is this nasty cough into group consciousness? That is the first thing, because I've noticed that there's a seasonal thing about what happens. And is this, let's find out. We're going to first card that we got that come up. I'm going to have my husband go ahead and... Yes.
We'll read that. Let's see, card number 49, Talisman.
So if you all give me this, I'm just going to do a quick,
Reverse.
We don't have anybody else up, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give you, I know that you're going to give me one, then I will give you a reading right tonight, and we'll go a little longer. There's also, all of a sudden I just drew a blank. Now just a minute, I have to figure out what it is that they talked about. The question is that do you like Wednesdays? Because at the beginning of November, I'm going to be doing Thursday's show from 2 to 4, and it's going to be about FYI interviews, and it's about for your information interviews from all kinds of things that's going to be coming across my desk that Spirit wants you to know and understand. We're going to do our first one on Friday on sepianc.com, and Karina. I'm not going to be able to say her last name, but she's,
I can't remember how to spell
if I could see how, Lobos, I don't know. But anyways, she is a reader and a channel healer, and so I've never met her, so we're going to meet her together. We're going to ask questions and have a great interview. And it's, like I said, for Wednesday. If you like Wednesday's show, just like how it's Monday, but it is in the evening and you like that, please express this, because I am doing my best to rearrange everything. And because I'm going to start doing Empowerment Through Enlightenment classes online, and there's going to be a week-to-week thing, and then there's going to be the Hope Therapy classes, which is, I haven't decided if it's going to be week-to-week or every 2 weeks, but what it is, the 2 things that are about is that the Hope Therapy class is simply where, just like on the, wow, there goes my voice, just like on the show, I give readings. Well, what will happen is that we will have more in-depth reading, and I will literally just probably go farther than just give you one. And it depends on how the person is, and I may have you heal right in front of me, and we'll be doing this via, I'm assuming through maybe Skype or VC, so that I can interact with you. And then there is the Empowerment Through Enlightenment, which is that it's an hour long. But what's going to happen is that I would probably teach you a specific spiritual human event and how to look at it from different points of view to help open in your mind, and then address how does this fit in your world and how it doesn't. So you'll be able to have a different open forum, which is different than the Hope Therapy. That was directly based on healing. This is about applying and changing your consciousness. The Hope Therapy is, or the Empowerment Through Enlightenment is. And so these are all the events that are coming up. So I'm curious, if you like Wednesday night, this show, then we'll do so. We will keep it open. I'm going to keep it open until November, until I've come to gathering information and brainstorming. So, Octarine, my dear. What we're going to do is we're going to take a little quick promo. Scott's going to come back, and we're going to make you wait just a little bit longer.
Okay, which...
Well, I hope she can get tea quick as a minute.
There may not be enough time to get some tea, so maybe we should just talk for a few seconds to make sure she gets
All right, I'll wait
back.
till she says okay, and that way I'll continue. But again,
Yes.
what the main question is that I've noticed people having coughing issues. Have you seen people coughing at work? Having any lung issues ever?
No, not really recently. Just
Okay.
before the frost, everybody, like you and my friend there at work.
Oh, Karen, she takes the phone with her. That's awesome.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but I've noticed that people have been having coughing issues, and so the question that I just put out and drew a card was, okay, is this a group conscious thing? What is it? And so Scotty is now going to read from.
This is for.
It says the Colette Baron Reid, the Enchanted Map, and it is number 49, upside down. It's Talesman, and this is going to be from Karen's point of view of the group consciousness.
Okay. A reversed talisman card warns that you must be aware of the repetitive patterns in your life.
Oh, repetitive patterns.
Yeah, sometimes
Okay.
the things that feel most familiar carry with them reminders of what you don't want to experience again. Yet here you are, faced with an important choice. You can move forward cautiously, or you can look for another path that will take you in a new direction. Consider this: if you've fallen down a hole a few times, why wouldn't you walk around it this time?
Please do.
If you know where the hole lies, treasure that wisdom. Although the universe is unlimited, every individual path has some limitations. Accepting that not all avenues are available to you at this time is a powerful realization. That said, you don't have to retrace your footsteps either. No matter what, you're on this path to gain greater wisdom, regardless of the choice you make. This is a time to ask others who have been here before for advice and assistance. Their wisdom will awaken with your own.
Okay, now, repetitive patterns seems to be why people cough. So Karen, repetitive pattern. It says that the pimp energy. The pimp energy is how somebody's energy is putting their dream into your head. They're directing you in some way. So you're having someone actually that directs you, and you don't even realize it, or you do, and you don't know how to respond to it. The pimp energy is that I feel like you go into a muddled state, and then you go into a state of grace, which means it begins to happen, and there's the event, and then you've overcome it, and then you go into a state of grace, of comfort zone. So literally you're unable to function in that state of shock, and then the muddledness, and then when it goes down, then you have this grace, but your body pays for it. And every time you come up against somebody that has this pimp energy, your body goes into a retaliation, which means, I ain't doing that. This also goes to the one girl in the room that has a cough, and it looks like just a minor cold. But she's stepping up into a space where she is actually putting herself out into the world, and her body's like going, oh my God, I can't do this! But consciously, she's like, yes, I can. Just like with Karen, yes, I can. But the body is going, oh, hell no! And that is what you have to pay attention to, because there was a study on the kamikaze pilots. Okay, so what happened was this, I don't have all the details of the words, but this, how do you want to put it? They put white blood cells in a petri dish, and then they had this person that had been in around kamikazes where the bombs went off and all of these different things that had occurred.
Traumatic things.
Yeah, and so, you know, he survived, and it's many years later, and as he was sitting there, and they said, oh, we'd like to test, so they put in front of him, they showed kamikaze pilots, they showed airplanes, they showed the sounds of the bombing. His whole body went into a complete reaction as if it had been in that particular lifetime, right then and there, that reliving it over and over again. And so even though he's not, hey, consciously I know I can't be harmed, it's just a picture, the body started to go into old patterns. And that is what I'm seeing for you and the other young lady that's in our room. Okay? And so Karen says, bronchitis was extremely frustrating Monday. Okay, so her lungs must have been kicking in. Now here I'm going to tell you a little story about the bronchitis issue that I had. Mine seemed to be bronchial asthma. It kicks in. I can feel when my lungs are filling up with water. And it's like, what's going on? And it goes back to how my heart functioned. The triple warmer, which is your alarm system, I don't want to say alarm system, it is your army, because the stomach's the alarm system. The triple warmer is the army. It's racing to fight, 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 fight. And as it does this, the spleen, which is your backup safety protector that does the opposite of what the militia would in the army, is like, you know, hey, I'm here to protect you. It's no big deal. We're going to work on this. But my triple warmer would kick off, and when it would trip my heart meridian, which then, when that kicks off, then it affected my lungs. Now, the one thing you got to understand is that your heart is completely protected, and the main thing it's protected by is the pericardium, which is the circulation sex meridian, or the reproductive meridian. Mine's been damaged. So when the triple warmer goes off, it should be going through the circulation sex meridian first before it goes to the heart. But because I have damage in that field, I can't handle it. So my heart then starts to pump differently, and my lungs take effect. Last night I healed an issue. I've been healing several little issues, but it was amazing because I went to bed knowing that I had to get up bright and early this morning with my daughter. I went to bed, and I woke up at 3:30, and I'm trying my best to go back to sleep. But my brain started to kick in, and my guides started to kick in, and my soul kicked in and started healing an issue. No, I've sat back and I observed this as I'm sleeping, and literally it had me physically do things, put my hand in my forehead and look at it, and then repeat certain things over and over in my head. And the great epiphany was that, what? That came from my mother? No! And so I stared at how, I had painted my mother a beautiful picture of who she was. But just like with anybody, we take and teach how we are taught. And so she was using kind of meanness to help make me correct myself. Like for instance, you know, I used to go to work, I'd come home, my mother would yell, blah, 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 and be angry. Well, that was her way of saying, please don't do it again. But my heart was like, oh, I can't do this. All I ever wanted was my mother to love me. Now, my mother loved me, but she had many tragedies in her life that caused her to literally do what? To literally pull her life force away from me, even when she was holding me, because of her dad killed himself. Then her son died, and then her mother died. And those points in time, and her divorce, it caused her to just separate her energy from us, even though she's lovingly trying to take care of us. Her mental state and her emotional state were somewhere else, and that is what we feel is separate. So when, you know, and Octarine says she's extremely frustrated on Monday. Now, if I were to look at Octarine, and I'd say, okay, let's look at why the lung's going nuts, and it says it has to do with that pimp energy, and that you were disgraced. You don't like that feeling. Now it's going to somewhere else, and you're mortified. And it's a pattern that had come on by the age of 3, and you literally can feel when a pimp energy is going to happen. And if we back up the strategy to that point, you will actually see how you were disgraced. And when that occurs, it mortified you, draining you of your energy, which happens to be frustrating as you step into that journey of, I'm going to be me, I'm going to do what I want to do, and as you go into further. So there's something that just started to wreak havoc a little bit. And it doesn't even have to be. Like, all it was for me one night was I was sitting next to my husband, and we're watching TV, and my lungs started to fill up, and it was because it was like I didn't want to do something. And I felt bad that I didn't want to do something, but I wasn't even consciously thinking of it. Remember, we have 41 thoughts per minute. And I had to stop and say, what am I feeling then if I'm not thinking? And it was knowing that our next step of how we're going to snuggle or do something, and there's a part of me that didn't want to do it. You know? And you don't even have to consciously be involved when these things start to happen. So I stopped quickly and started to tap, because I didn't want my lungs to fill up. And Karen says, yes, I have a lot of distrust of the universe and creator. Well, you can heal that. And that's what we're going to do, is one step at a time and getting to where you need to go. And because of that particular moment at age 3 and how she knows the story, then what I'm going to tell you, she says she's been working on it 6+ years, so I'm going to go into where her focus is and say, okay, if she's going to, is that the right path of what she wants to heal? Yes. Where does she need to go to heal it? The first place is that you have the alarm system, which is the R2S. Then once she heals the alarm system of how everybody's, the pimp says, makes her feel like, oh, you're nothing, I am more important than you. And then she'll move into L3S of where she withheld her energy because she knew she was just going to be pimped anyway. And it paralyzes her because a part of her that is the adult that wants to move forward can't. And then she's going to go to L1D, which is to heal the heart about how she hates when people treat her in that fashion. And she has great passion to be mad at that. She can even look at the politics and heal that one, L1D. So that's the pattern. Hopefully she will hear and listen to the archives and be able to do that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick caller, and then we'll come back. And who's up?
Okay, it's Ellen R99.
All right, you're on the air with Brenda and Scott.
Hi, Brenda. This is Ellen. I haven't spoken to you in a couple of months. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, it has been a while. How can I help you, dear?
Well, I tuned in late, so I haven't got the whole thing that you were doing this evening, but I did see that you were still offering readings, and I just called in for a general reading, if that's okay with you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, I'm just going to tune into the energy fields because I feel like your energy is in front of you right now, and I don't really see any cords back, so that means they want you to focus on something in front of you. Something that's in front of you. That's funny. You took on stuff and then adapted, which means you lived and learned. So what particular thing have you lived and learned? For example, my friend, just seems like life keeps throwing her curveballs left, right, and finally she lived and learned. Okay, you know what? I'm not even going to look in that direction. She has to live now with her disease and says that's something that she has to do. And it's like, no, there's a deeper story. So there's something that you had to live and learn. You had to take it on and then adapt to it. I feel like it could be old set of rules. I feel wounded pride that you can't think outside the box the way you want around this person. So do you got somebody in your life that you're trying to be with, and they have a set of standards that you can't seem to live up to?
Not currently. I'm wondering whether you're speaking about a deceased parent.
Well, let me find out. Is this with a deceased parent? Yes, but the energy of the person is right in front of you. That would but see, the thing is, the energy that's right in front of you, it's like a big fog, and it feels like somebody is laying the steps down in front of you and saying, trust, this is the area you're going to walk in. And you're trusting, you're walking, you're moving, but it doesn't feel like you're on your path. So did somebody set a path out for you and said to follow it?
No. I don't think so. And I actually thought that I had started my own path. So I guess you're saying that I'm not on my own path?
Well, there's a part that feels like there's like, you are on your path, but I feel like you have to follow along with the old pattern of who you have to be. And that kind of clouds where you are on your path.
I think I've broken free of some of that stuff. I don't doubt that there's some residual stuff.
Yes, you have broken free of some of it, yes. So now we're breaking down further. I think that's what they're trying to get at. So here's the question. So the familiarity of how you had to adapt to other people's rules. On a scale from 0 to 10, how much do you believe that to be true? 10 being, yeah, I really had to.
Oh, no, I had to. I was too young to do anything on my own. So I would say an 8. I would say that was very strong.
Yes. That's the familiarity that's actually causing you to, I mean, consciously everything looks pretty good, but it is that, because I can feel you actually supposed to be really be more on your path at this point. It's not that you're missing opportunities. It feels like this familiarity won't allow you to see that you have that goodness right there, and you already are doing certain things. This familiarity that you just said was an 8 really is what needs to be resolved. Now, what's interesting is I keep seeing the cloud that's in front of you, and a pair of hands keep coming out, and they keep putting... At first I thought they were stepping stones, but I'm wondering if they're a deck of cards. Now, I got to figure this out. Alright, so if I start saying random words, it's because they're trying to come out through and say certain things, like giving clarity, meaning their intention was clear that they wanted to give you clarity. They thought it was important. They wanted you to learn to fight and to conquer. Now, I'm not sure exactly what the cards are. I don't know. Are they a deck of cards? No, they're positive cards? No, they're enforcement cards. So, did you have a reward and punishment growing up?
Yeah. Not rewards. I think it was just punishment.
Okay, so let me just double check. Is these cards about punishment? Yes. And they were meant to help you be stronger in their belief system. The punishment of how... So, because you have done a lot of healing, they're saying that there's a part of you that still's looking for the punishment if you were to flourish too fast. If you were to grow too fast, you were going to get the punishment. So there's like the shoe on the other foot's about to drop, but it's not a strong one. It's not a big fat 10. It's actually a 2. So that means you're really close at getting this almost completely out of your system. So, you with me? So is this making sense so far?
Yeah, actually the hands, is it, okay, both of my parents are deceased, and I really think this has to do with my father. And, I don't know, he passed away about a year ago. Do you think he understands some things now that could have been different, and he tried to help me from the other side? I'm just throwing some ideas out.
Yes, I do. That's why a part of me doesn't see this as harmful, but it's trying to communicate something. And... so I want you to focus on your father for a minute, and I really do feel. Now, what's interesting is that the hand looks like it is male and female, so it feels like both of them are actually, like your mother's a little bit more reluctant versus your father, but there's something about, yes, they do have a greater understanding. Now, this is strange. They're showing me a picture of a silver lining, so... Someone's actually grabbing and lassoing in the silver lining cloud to bring to you. It's like they didn't give it to you before, but here it is now.
Yeah.
So they want you to have it, but in order... Oh, now, their cloud just bumped that cloud away because what they're saying is they need you to get that familiarity gone so that cloudiness can disappear. So again, there's like 2 energies that come at you at once, positive and negative, but you were so trained to have to see the negative that every now and then the positive will slip through and then disappear. Well, if we heal the negative cloud away, you should be able to say, oh, I choose that one over there, which is the positive. You'll be able to see it more clearly. Does that make sense?
Yes. And actually I do think that I've become a much more positive person than I used to be.
Yeah, there's a bravo. They're clapping hands, so there's a bravo. So yes, they agree too. They have watched and they feel like they're sorry that the word they're using is they smited you.
I'm sorry, what was the word?
When they were alive, when they were younger, they smited you. They took and they, it's like stifle and smother. They smited and they kind of stopped you from that growing because you're supposed to grow within the confines of conformity of what a teenager is supposed to look like, what a child is supposed to look like, how behavior is supposed to look like. And that's what they're referring to is that they've done that, but they also understand that that's part of the timeline about how things were done.
Yeah.
So they're not really hating themselves. They're actually in a good place because you're someone, whether it's your mother or the dad doing it, he's showing that there's the thing that the mother's working on is the resentment that she had to really overcome and it blocks her from loving. Now, either that is what she's healing now, or that's what she carried on this planet. But there was all this resentment that she had to, when she, so when she wanted to reach out and love you, she had to get through all that resentment first.
Oh, well, she died when I was young, so I wasn't capable of understanding all that.
Okay, and see, the thing is that it could be not resentment to you, but resentment of things that she's accumulated.
Yeah.
It's like you got to protect your heart so you don't love. Well, that's what I feel like she's doing, is that, so I feel like that's the thing that she's healing. But they keep pointing out that they want you to heal what we just talked about. And, good Lord, I don't even remember what we talked about. That's brilliant. Okay, so they're saying, redefine what it is that I talked about. What was familiar for you?
The punishment.
Yes.
Inability to live up to whatever the standards they set, changing standards, I don't know, things like that.
Yes, exactly. And all of those feelings. So you're going to re-listen to the archives, but as far as the healing goes, are you familiar with healing tools?
Yeah, we've talked about
Okay.
them.
Now,
and EFT.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to do the meridian tapping. That one's on there as well. That's the faster version. I mean, it both works good. But the meridian tapping, because I asked which one should she use on this, and they said they want you to tap it because the number 2 of the big thing that they want you to heal is low. Then you're going to be watching how all of a sudden, like, some of these things will just pop up, and you're like, oh, there it is. It's not going to be where it's, going to slap you in the face and, you're going to fall down and go, oh my God, this one will be so subtle. It's the subtle ones that they want you to disrupt. And when all of a sudden you start to notice it, the quick tapping, just a roundabout tapping, you don't even have to focus on any words like the phrase even though. You don't even have to do that unless you feel those words, and then you can add them. But otherwise, you'll start noticing there's a disruption, because this is all about that living and learning. And they want you to disrupt it so you don't have to keep the unhealthy learnings, because now you need to unlearn, but you've already been doing that. So it's basically stopping you from going into that pattern. I'm just seeing if there's anything else specific. No, they're very much glad that you have worked on a lot of things. You have been more clear with your thoughts. Have you been using oracle cards?
I have them, but I have not used them in some time.
Okay, and they said that's okay. All of a sudden you're going to get the desire and you're going to pull it out. And they said they want me to help you understand that, okay, so let's say you have a goal about something. Oh, I'd like to do this. Okay, so then you say, you put down this thing. Oh, wait a minute, I have one. Is there somebody in your life that you may have to decide whether or not you should have in your life, or should you just kind of leave? Like a friend or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so they're saying that, okay, so you're going to take the cards, whatever cards they are, and you're going to shuffle them, and you're going to hold the thought, because remember, your energy will change. So hold that thought. If you have to write down the question, you will. But what are you going to do with this person? So when I was having issues with my husband, I go, so what am I supposed to do with my husband? And then the energy would change, but it would tell me every day to keep loving him, or keep doing this, or stay focused. And you can ask these questions about how you should show up. So for this person, how should you show up? I'm going to have my husband draw a card. And as this person, what is she supposed to do with this person right now? What you're supposed to do with this person right now, honey, why don't you open that up and read it? Okay. And then after he reads that, then we'll go on to it.
Okay, we picked, let's see, I drew the Ghostlands card. You can learn from the past and imagine a beautiful future, but you must live in the here and now. Whenever you set your sights too far ahead, you run the risk of losing your footing. For rarely do the present and future match up exactly on the enchanted map that is your life story. The future has no substance right now. It is a place that has no grounding as of yet. You can't live there. yet you can take measured steps toward a goal or dream. These steps are important now. The same goes for nostalgia. You can look into the past wistfully and remember beautiful moments, I guess, or revisit lessons learned. However, you can't live there, nor can you go back and change what was. Yesterday is gone forever. Live fully in the present. The now is the most powerful place to put your attention. Its magic reaches out in every direction, further than the heart and soul can see.
Okay, so basically it's saying when with this person, you're going to be more present with this person. And so then the next card that flew out was...
It's the movement card reversed. Do you feel as if you're walking in circles, seemingly not getting anywhere? Consider the spiral that travels up and around. 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. Even backward movement helps your... Oh, you have to turn down your radio. We're getting feedback here.
I don't have a radio on.
Oh.
That's on.
Oh, we're getting an echo for some reason. That's not you then.
Okay.
Ah.
Okay. Do you want me to read?
Yeah, why don't you read this?
Where did you leave off? Okay. 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. Even backward movement helps you progress and reach your goal. You may revisit some of the places where you forgot to look for treasure. Another message is lessons need repeating for those who refuse or are unable to learn than the first time. Consider another invitation to the mastery. So they're asking you, with this person, when you're present, notice what the particular pattern is between you and her, or this person. And they keep telling me that it's a checkout process. Okay, so when you're drawing cards, they go, okay, so pay attention. So you're going to pay attention to how maybe you check out or how there's certain behaviors, because there's something you need to learn before you let go. Or there's something you need to heal. So if this person irritates you, tap it out. Even though this person irritates me, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Then, every day, just say, okay, am I supposed to be with this person? What am I supposed to do with this person? And eventually, you'll learn what you need to learn, and the energy cord will change, okay?
Okay. Yes, you were so right. There is a person in my life who is kind of an annoying friend. Basically, this person, but do I really want this person in my life as a friend?
Yeah, and they're saying that you're changing. So, learn to use your cards, and then heal what you need to, and move forward, okay?
Thank you so much, Brenda.
All right, thank you, dear, and keep contact, all right?
Thank you. Night.
All right, night. Muted.
I didn't say that.
No, you didn't say that. So we have...
Who said mute? It did it on the... Wow, this is weird.
So
I know I heard the word muted.
I did too. So I'm wondering if we have
Someone on Blog Talk is
No.
monkeying.
Reminds me of a CB radio or something. Something
But why
is
did it say muted? That's weird. I clicked the mute button at the end of the call like I always do, and it's never said that before.
So he's
we don't
freaking
got
out.
no ghost in the machine, do we? Here.
So let me find out, is what we heard, is there a message that needs to be addressed?
I mean, that wasn't my voice.
You should see how freaked out, well you can watch the video all you want.
This is waking me up.
So the energy is not a feedback, there was an energy presence, and there are 3 people that are standing in this room.
Oh, lovely. And I only see 2 of them, me and you.
Well, there's 3 more.
Oh, 3
They're
more.
right here. They're right here.
I see.
There is a gentleman that's standing here, and he's looking at Scott, but he's referring to Karen.
Oh.
Karen, this person has come and spoke to you before.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then there is, oh, why did it go there? Okay, what do you want to talk about right now? The chronic state. Okay, so this person wants to talk about that chronic state, so I'm assuming it has to do with that pimp energy again or something. I'm going to ask if it wants a specific card. Oh, and it does. Okay, so let's see what happens. They're telling me what we're going to do real quick is that Scott's going to hit the promo, and I'm going to apparently reconnect differently. So I'll be back in just a second. Some people have heard the muted before. We have it, and everything's a clue. Could it be just a coincidence? Not in my world. I have learned that these are all signs that there's something that needs to be addressed. So, what I'm noticing is the word chronic. The person that she's talked to, let's see. The card that popped up was a card in reverse. The card said, give your relationship a chance. So, do you have a relationship you're not given a chance, my dear? And the coughing is sometimes you want to be muted, but you want to bark at the world, but you don't want to talk. So there might be some type of relationship. Because it's funny, this is the relationship card they chose, and it is about the opposite sex. So is there a person that's alive, a fleshy, that you are afraid to take to the next step? Nope, really? Oh, are you kidding? Does she see him? No. Oh, did you make a decision a long time ago? Oh, I am so done with men. I'm not going to have another one in my life again.
You got to watch out about those type of decisions, Karen, because when I said that, it was like a month later. Anyways.
Do tell, Scott.
Let's see. I said that in February of '94. And then it was March of '94, somebody gave me a call, and we've been together ever since. I was so fed up with women in general, I said, screw it, I'm going to be an old miser, and I'm going to have money.
Okay.
Nope.
Now, for her, she's probably did a route that my mother did, which was, I think my mother was like 44, 45, well, probably my age. I can't remember when she did it, and said, that's it, I'm done with men. And when she got rid of her stepdad, when she got rid of her husband, which was my stepdad, that was it. She was done. She didn't want to have any more men, and she didn't. And by the time that she got 55, how old?
She was 57 when she passed.
Okay, so for 53, she says, I'm done. She said she was done a while back, then she said she was done again, and that's when she got sick, because she's like, she wanted love so bad, and she could not take in that extra life anymore, but yet so what happens is a great fight of conflict. You want it and you don't want it. You want it and you don't want it. And sometimes we forget we make those major decisions. So she says, okay, we gotta go back to where I was. Not that I'm aware of, nope, no one else, oh, no, but I'm not going to have one that does nothing.
Does nothing again. Or that lies to himself.
Okay,
Yeah, you
so
don't
she's
deserve that. You need somebody that's willing to.
That's good that you know
have
this.
ambition.
And it's good that you notice this pattern. So you know
Yes.
your attraction factor is you bring in these type of guys. And so you would need to heal that attraction factor. But at the same time, it's also a sealed statement, or a nail in the coffin, as one would refer. Because you have put your foot down, and this is not a healthy boundary. It is a decision, and decisions in the subconscious mind mean limitations. When you create a limitation that drastic, it takes your soul, your spirit, and it doesn't allow it to be creative in that particular area. And it is not allowing the balance of the yin and yang to occur. So, changing the attraction factor, my dear. Because according to the man on the other side, he said he was great friends and with you, and he doesn't want to see you develop in the direction that you are going in, which is you're too young still to be leaving this planet. You have so much life left to give, and the adventures of moving forward, there's so much to enjoy. She said, had one that did nothing but watch TV, argue, and sit around, and he's still doing nothing. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Notice how you have it, how you do anything is how you do everything. So you're attracting this particular person. Notice that, put that on a scale of 0 to 10. That strong aspect of you going, oh my God. Well, if that's the case, then you need to heal it, because your body, your life force is over here keeping that story of hell's alive, and your body is starving for your energy. So heal that. And all that means is that you're going to preserve all the positive learnings, which will actually stop you from drawing those people in, because the attraction factor will change. And you will be able to draw in better than what you already know. And you can actually stop that particular thing, because we need to get your spark back. And in order to get that spark back, we need to heal the hells that stop you. And Kimberly, what's funny is that your card popped up on the table. We got like only a few seconds left, but the card was, oh, there's never going to be a one for me. So you may get a decision somewhere along the line about how, nope, not going to have one for me. You know, there's not a person out there that's for me. I don't know if those are the key words. Kind of play around, find it, feel it. You'll hit right on it. Okay. We're thankful for all of you, and thank you for the testimonies, and thank you for helping me make a choice whether or not we are going to stay on Wednesday nights, because we may shift around. And please join us on Friday, this Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on sepianc.com, so that we can allow ourselves to you can ask her questions. She's a psychic, she's a medium, and we can see her story, and we can start to bring in information to the world about other people out there, so we can stop being the best kept secret, so we can learn to actually pay it forward. So join me, that would be great. All right, we thank you, and we love you all, and well, what can I say? Enjoy your happy sleep, because you can see energies of beautiful love and rainbows coming your way, because that's your spirit guides. Apparently it's very thin tonight, and so around 2 a.m. don't be surprised if you wake up. All right, namaste.
We want to thank you all.